Part 3, 10-piece build. Now this is dried overnight. This is Sunday morning, late Sunday morning. Been raining all morning. I'm not going to do a lot today. I'm just going to get these 2 pieces sanded and put together like that. And then we'll move to the next step. Take it over to the belt sander. We'll start with this section here. Sand it smooth, clean it off, square up the ends, and do the same with this. Now let me show you how I'm going to sand it. I've done it so far. Over here on one of the 4x36s. Now this one is much more powerful, bigger motor than the other one, than the Harbor Freight one, which is fine for what it's for. But I'm gonna rough it here, and then we'll take it over to the 6x48 and finish it off, and then we'll, of course, in the end, hand sand it, or random orbit sand it. Let's see, let's back up and I'll show you just a little bit. Let's raise this camera up some, like that. Okay, watch your volume. First we're going to knock off our letters, all our pencil marks. Okay, there's a rough pass. I said the finished pass will go on the other sander over there. I'm gonna do these on here. I'll show you how we'll do that one time. Okay, the finished sanding will take care of the little bitty bits that's still left. Continue on, continue on. And yes, it does make a big mess, but that's okay. Alright, got them all slicked off. Dust them off good. That'll be the top. That'll be the back. Go that way. That way. Now we're going to glue this up. We're spending a lot of time watching glue dry, aren't we? It's just part of it. Now when these two glue together, there will be a little riser block in the bottom that we're going to tilt it up just a little bit. And once this is dry and we get everything square, then we'll do that. But it'll take, once again, overnight to glue up. And then we can start finish sanding it'll be almost ready. The knives are 99.9% done. All we gotta do is put the finish on the handles. I may try to do that today, I may not. Oh, and we've got a wedge to put in here, but we'll see that in a little bit. Back to the glue. Well, good morning. Alright, our glue is dried, sanded smooth. Still got a final sand it, that'll come in a little while. Now the next step, I've cut some little blocks, riser blocks. They're gonna go in like this, just to give it a slight slope. Got them marked and laid out already, one on each side. Angles cut properly here. These I'm gonna glue in place and nail them with the brad nailer. Greatest tool ever invented. This is my second one. I wore out the first one years back. So all we're gonna do is just put some glue. Apologize in part 2, there's a couple of spots where you can't see what I'm doing. Remember, I'm not a professional YouTuber. I just play one on my channel. Okay, so we're gonna line it up. And this is 1-inch brads in here. The glue is actually what's going to hold it. Just pretend these are little clamps. Well, the brads are like clamps. This material, the same materials out of the same board, leftover to the board that I used for this section here. Get it lined up. Lined up here. Like that excess. We'll go in right here. One there and one here. Just like that. No need to over fasten, even though it's easy to do when you got something like that. Hang on. There we go, it's flat on there. Now, and I do have some little rubber feet that mount on the corners, so it grip the countertop and it won't scratch it. There we go. It's sitting there nice and handsome. What do you think? The last step, except final sanding and finishing, is I've got to cut little wedges to go in here to keep that cleaver from falling out. Now I had a couple of good ideas. Old Stump had a good idea, and I almost did it. I'm gonna take a magnet strip and put the cleaver on the magnet. But I got to thinking, it's no secret who this is for. This is for Josh up in Alaska. He has a bunch of little critters running around his house. This say, and I know this from experience from having my own, that's sitting on the counter. That cleaver sitting there like that with no cover on it, even with the blade to the back, sitting there. There's something over here to eat, or a snack or something, and them kids, I know mine did it lots of times, they're going to get up there and get it if they want it, whether they're supposed to or not, especially if it's something good they want. They're going to reach up there and get what they want, and they're going to come back and cut their hand. That's what I thought about. So in the interest of safety, it's going to go down in there like that and look pretty cool too. There we go. I'm going to give this just a few minutes to dry. No overnight drying on this one. And then we're going to break out the palm sander and the random orbit sander. Get it all slicked up and ready for some finish, and then we'll put the finish on the blades. Believe it or not, except for the bread knife, we're almost done. Alright, let's start putting some finish on these handles. Got them hand sanded up to where I'm happy with them. New can of lacquer. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Now this is the first, what'll be 3 coats. In my opinion, there is no better finish than this. When I started using this back when I was a little bitty knife maker, stuff was $9 a quart for a quart can. I had Mama pick this up for me a couple days back when she was in town, because I was out, almost out. $23 a quart. Prices in the world are going stupid. Well, there we go. There's the first one. You get the rest of them done, hung up to dry. Do a second coat, then we'll get back to our block here in just a little bit. Nice. Alright, time to sand the block. All the knife handles have 3 coats of finish. Got my wedge put in here. Now this is the same cypress. This was an edge piece, a little bit darker, but that's okay. A little more character. Now it's fairly smooth already. Take a 600 grit pad on the random orbit sander, and we're going to go all over it. I'll get it started just a little bit, then I'll shut it off because this thing's really loud. Block is sanded up to 600. Looks really nice. Maker's mark is here. turns out that my stamp that I had made out of Delrin come out pretty good. I've never tried it on wood, but it works. Now we're going to put the first coat of finish on here. And I'll put 3 coats on here just like the handles. This first coat will soak in really well. Ain't that pretty? And on the turntable, or did I just say that? Move it around a little bit better. Now we'll sand the bottom by hand. Just thought Maker's Mark right there would look cool. Everything is signed with a Maker's Mark. Blades, lock. I'm a firm believer. If you're really proud of what you do, you will sign it. Put your name on it. That's just me. And every knife maker I know. Almost. With a one of my favorite pastimes is stirring up the crap. Anyway, enough of that. Alright, we'll get this coat on there, let it dry, and we'll put another coat, and then we'll look at it again. But wrong hand. Coat number 1. Now this can be top coated. It says on the can within 2 hours, but normally about 30 minutes, and it's dry enough to recoat. Whoop. Make sure we don't have any runs. First coat never runs because it soaks in so fast, but there we go. We'll see it when it's all finished. Alright, the block has 3 coats of sealer on it, dried overnight. I'm debating on putting another coat on there. We'll see in a little bit. Next, we're going to put the little rubber feet on here. Do that. I'm just going to eyeball it. Now these will keep it from scratching the countertop, and a little bit grip, it won't slide around. Okay, we'll drill a pilot hole for each one. Don't want that wood to crack. At this point in the build is not a time to have a problem. This is the final right here. We'll be done shortly. We'll take our screw. These are stainless screws that come with these little kits. Okay, tight enough right there. Now we'll do the same thing, put one here, here, and here. I did sign the bottom. Signature sign, date, and where it came from. even though they know where it came from. Whoever gets it after them, probably one of their kids, may not remember where it came from. That's why you sign your work, in my opinion. That's why you mess up your blades and put your maker's mark on them also. Like this. Got our mark. Just like that. Now all the blades are sharpened except for the bread knife. It's almost finished. We'll see them all here in just a little bit. My arm in the way, or can y'all see that? I want to over tighten and strip that out just like that. Alright, do this side, and then I'll decide whether or not to put another coat on here. We'll see. Alright, we're on the final leg of getting this 10-piece set finished. Now remember I said in the very end we'd do a final polish. That's what we're going to do now. Now these are already sharpened. Very, very sharp. It's a really, really touchy thing to buff any knife that's already sharp. It's very sharp. So that's why a while back I installed speed controller to my buffers. So we're going to slow it down, and it's hooked into all of them, but we're just going to use this one right now. Let's see, let's get the camera where you can see it. I'm going to use the clean wheel and put just a touch of white compound on there. Let's get it going. Then got our speed slowed down. Very lightly. Just like that. Now we'll take it back and get a soft cloth, wipe it down, put it in the block, and that is ready to go. I missed a spot right there. There we go. Just like that. Get all the rest of them done, then we'll get them put in the block, and this will be ready to go to its new home. The moment we've all been waiting for. 11-piece set is finished. Alright, I decided not to put another coat on the block. I think it looks just fine. Okay, we've got our maker's mark here. Signed it on the bottom. That's a very rare upside down signature. Signed right there. Now this turntable's sort of weak, so we'll be careful with it. First one to go in, chef knife. Goes in there. Butcher knife. Goes in right there. And these are very sharp. So I don't have to say be careful, but be careful with them. The world famous bread knife. The last one to be built right there. Now the bread knife is reclaimed material from no industrial bandsaw, and it does not polish up quite as good as the rest of them, but still looks good. Very, very sharp, slight serrations, because Josh did tell me they do make their own bread. That'll slice that just like that. Cleaver. Very sharp. That will chop and cut anything you want to do. That goes in that slot right there. Steak knives. Now there are 6 of these. All the same, or basically the same. A true handmade knife is not, you cannot make 2 exactly the same unless you have some kind of computing machine to cut them, and I don't do that here. There's the paring knife. Paring knife, tater peeler, whatever you want to call it. That one. That one. That one. Well, there we go, right there. 11-piece set is finished. Alright, let's take it off this turntable for just a minute, because it's wobbly. I didn't clean the table up and all that kind of stuff, but there we go. Sit on the counter just like that. Now it's all cypress. The handle material, I got about half the tree when I got the material for it. About half the tree that was rough cut from the sawmill. I chose the piece for the handle material that was the heartwood, which is always darker than the outside, the sapwood. And I think it leaves a very, very nice contrast in between the two. So there we go. Long time coming, but it is ready. And I'll take it in the house and get it all packaged up to go to the cold country of Alaska. Now, Josh has got some hunting to do this fall and winter. Maybe he'll shoot a moose or a caribou or bear, something like that. Put it on the table and carve it up with this thing, and maybe he'll show us that on his channel. There we go. Hope you like it. I hope y'all enjoyed this little series of videos. I enjoyed doing it. I just hate that it took me so long to get to it, but with the surgery and all that kind of stuff, It just ran long, but it's finished now. It'll be on the way home very shortly. Thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will see y'all with 2 more jobs I hope to get done this week. But before I do anything else, early in the morning while it's still cool, I've got to open the shop doors and blow the sawdust out of here. Shop is a mess. Got to get a cleanup done, and then we'll get on some more jobs. But there we go. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.